How would you define railroading?
Not getting my way. All the time. All the time.
All the time.
I mean, I feel like the term railroading is thrown about an awful lot whenever I don't believe it's as bad as what people make it out to be.
Yeah.
But whenever it's done badly, it's absolutely atrocious and should be considered like a deadly sin almost.
Railroading is when you invalidate a player's choices, usually because they're inconvenient to you. What do you mean you don't want to fight in the arena? I prepped a bunch of stuff for that. You can't just leave town. Okay, fine. Guards arrest you, and you're found guilty of something, and now you have to fight in the arena.
I mean, again, I think there's other ways you can go about that. Like, maybe outside of town there's an arena. Maybe you save that for another opportunity.
Yeah.
I do feel bad for DMs, and especially
if they put the work into.
I know, and especially like this is what I've got prepped, guys. Do you want to? And again, I think this is also players at the same time. Are players just being really unreasonable? I think if a DM's just straight up, look, guys.
Players unreasonable? What?
No, but like, look, guys. I've this is what I've got prepared.
But I think the thing is, being a DM, you have to be prepared for things like this because you can't rely on players to just play the game.
yeah. I suppose you
just sit down and shut up and play my game.
I would argue Liluden would be more like a DM player character. I would lean more into that direction with
you say that's railroading, having a DM player character?
Yeah, I would argue it is. A DM player character is normally, I think that's what they're normally used for. To push push a narrative in a certain way. It's like, oh, we're gonna have to deal with this thing. Oh, look at my super cool DM player character that's gonna do this for you. It's more, I think it's more that the DM doesn't trust the players. And they're like, you know what, the players are kind of stupid. I don't think the way that they're going is the way I want this to go. Yeah. And again, it's a shared experience. Like, without a DM, there's no game. Without players, there's no game. Yeah. And again, I think is by heavy alluding, you're removing the game aspect. Yeah. Because that's what the DM wants. They want that story.
They want to run the game.
Yeah. They don't want to just run the game. They want to run a story almost. Exactly. It's not a game anymore at this point.
Railroading is when the players have zero agency in the world. Generally, there's a bit of a social contract in terms of RPGs. The players are going to try and follow the DM follow the DM's story in large strokes, because otherwise the sessions tend to suck. But there's still a lot of freedom for players to make decisions within the realm of this, to change and complicate the story. Railroading is when players lose that ability. The players' actions do not matter in the slightest. Nothing they do or don't do will matter to what happens next. If they manage to kill an important NPC early, doesn't matter. They actually died. They managed to figure out who the bad guy is in an intrigue campaign. No one believes them until the moment for the reveal. They accidentally let an important NPC die early. They'll somehow survive no matter what should logically happen because they're needed. Railroading is when players have zero agency, no threat to failure, no chance for anything to happen that the DM doesn't specifically dictate should happen.
Yeah, that's honestly, I think that's his textbook. Video done, guys. I feel like that's honestly the best explanation you're probably gonna get. You're not gonna get a better explanation.
Necessary. Easy to not make it seem obvious though. You want your players to move to the area you prepared. A bad railroad is, but you must. A good railroad is having a bunch of reasons for them to go to the arena in question, so the players naturally want to go there. In OSR games, the reason is as simple as, there's probably loot there. In modern gaming, a kidnapped person of interest, a key artifact, someone who has information, etc. are all you need. If the players don't bite, they don't bite, and you should make it bite them in the ass later, instead of forcing stuff on them. That said, OSR players are much easier to advance a game with because they have the mentality of, we adventure for cash because... And fuck me if that doesn't make running shit easier on a fundamental level.
Yeah. It's like, do you guys not want the sweet booty? Do you guys not want the biddy? Honestly, yeah. This is the problem I've got. I think Luden is fine if the best way I've ever heard of it is, have rails, but they should be invisible to the players at all times. They shouldn't be aware that they're even there.
But that requires a good DM.
Yeah, I suppose. I think
it also requires a good DM to get them back on the railroad. Or to find different paths back.
Yeah.
because players, regardless of if they're good players or bad players, they always stray off some way or another. But it takes a good DM, to be able to bring them back onto the main path.
Yeah.
In a way that they don't realise they're coming onto the main path. I
think that's actually one of the problems. I think that happened with the old Skeleton Party. And I think that's one of the reasons why it kind of petered out. So
Garbo.
no, honestly, but it was done well. Yeah. But this is, they spent so long at that city.
Yeah.
They went on for like maybe 4 or 5 sessions.
Yeah.
And the story,
it's hard to move on.
And it's just slowed down and slowed down.
Yeah.
And yeah, there was a lot of character development, and yeah, it was a lot of fun, but it felt sluggish almost, the storyline at a certain point. And I feel like, again, that's a good thing with Garbo, because he's open to that sort of thing.
Yeah.
He lets players explore, and Garbo's really one for the sandbox.
Garbo's very good at thinking off the cuff on things and as a DM.
And he rolls stuff up, and he's like, whatever you guys want to do,
good at that.
We're going to go with that. And he pretty much, Garbo will never say no to you.
Yeah.
But he definitely...
Unless it's complete bullshit.
But he's very willing to
work with the players and what they want,
and whatever makes sense, but also be warned, you don't always...
Yeah, it might be what you want, but later on down the road it might bite you in the ass.
Is it going to be a monkey paw sort of wish?
Yeah.
Sometimes it's like, you know what, this is really important, you guys should probably go and check this stuff out, I'm having a bit of an easy time with it though at the minute. For me, I'm test playing the World War 1 game. If you're I might actually start putting it in the comments down below, the feedback form and whatnot, because I've got it open. Anyone can see what I've been working on.
Yeah.
I'm kind of thinking about putting out some of it for free anyway, so there's no real issue. But the best excuse that I've got is, you guys are sent on a mission. You guys are in the army. You guys don't get to say no.
Yeah,
you're going to go and investigate.
It's your orders.
You are ordered to go there and do that. Now, of course, whatever way you go about that, that's up to you. That's fine. But you're going to have to go and investigate at the very least.
This is your mission.
This is your mission. Remember the mission. What was that?
Duck.
Yeah.
Right, you slimy human maggots. We has been working hard at Neckbeardia to get the bestest little people that monies can buy. We got all the boys here. We got the boys, the lizard boys, vampire boys, all the boys over at Neckbeardia. Oh, we also got some pretty girls too. But I can't really make out which one's the boys and which one's the girls sometimes. But anyway, I need more monies to get more duckers, so get on over and order some now, you filthy pigs.
Every video that we post, we're going to be giving away all of our homebrew content to one lucky winner. Every video. All you have to do to be in with a chance to win is to be subscribed, leave a comment, and like this video. And today's lucky winner is this guy. Well done! Well done! To claim your prize, just send an email to neckbeardiacontact@gmail.com. Now let's get back to the video. I experienced railroading in my last session. We returned from a dungeon with a wagon full of loot. We also have an important political figure whose life is in danger, disguised and accompanying us. We're heading towards a tavern to plan our next move. However, I don't want anyone inside to see him, so I bribe the tavern owner money to close shop but let us in and give us a private room. Everyone leaves except for one named NPC who the DM gives an elaborate description of. She's a sailor. Sailor complains about not wanting to leave. I complain to the tavern owner and tell him to call the cops. Sailor gets pissed and steals our wagon. Entire session is us chasing after the wagon, trying to get it to stop until it reaches the docks where there's a pirate ship that the sailor is a crew of. We get surrounded by her crew, trying to fight them off, but there's too many and end up on the ship as prisoners. It's pretty obvious he just wanted us on the ship because it's the actions of the NPC that dictated the entire session. Note how me playing the tavern owner and me paying the tavern owner and verbalizing that I wanted a private room ultimately didn't matter. Everything revolved around the actions of one NPC.
Why could you not just do it instead? Oh, you know the tavern owner, by the way?
Yeah.
Oh, there's someone that I think would like to talk to you. someone that has been looking for someone of your character.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Maybe there's other ways you can set these up.
Yeah.
Like, you know, again, I think maybe it might have been the DM was scared that the players would have left too much, maybe to plan their next move. Maybe that's what it was. Maybe he didn't want them going off and planning their own move.
Yeah.
So then, why don't you not have...
Scooby-Doo chase through time.
Or, yeah, well, again, you're not going to work with someone if they steal your stuff.
I know.
It's not a good setup.
But they didn't work, they got captured.
Yeah.
So, it could have done better.
There's again, I feel like, again, this is really what it comes down to. It's DMs that are not comfortable being able to change plans on the fly. What a DM should really just turn around. So I did this the other day. I picked up Death Lost Doom, and it's a really good book, and I'm definitely going to be doing a review of it in the near future whenever we're finished. We're about halfway through it. This adventure is packed full of stuff, and I mean packed. Everything in it has got paragraphs you can read about, so I'm not going to be able to sit down, read it all, memorize it for the session. There's just not a chance. So I just turned around and said to the guys, it's like, look, there's probably going to be some RL buffering from time to time. You're just going to have to give me like 5 minutes to read over everything, but like, you know, we'll try and keep it as smooth and running as possible. Yeah. And everyone was cool with that.
Yeah.
What's the deal here? What's the difference between me just turning around to them and being like... And also, I was playing with people that I like, okay, I've played with a few of the guys before. There was 2 completely new people that I've never played with before.
Uh-huh.
You know? So, what's the deal here? If I can turn around and say to people that I've never met before, like, look, guys, I'm not... Just give me 5. Just give me 5 to rework this.
Go for smoke, go for a piss. Give me 5.
What's the deal?
If I can't make decisions that at least feel like they matter, it's railroading. If the party is exploring a cave system and the tunnel to their left has a nest of goblins in it that they don't know about, but they choose to go right, and in there is the same nest of goblins that the GM prepared, that's not railroading. It's just efficient use of material.
I agree with that.
Yeah. And if they go back and to the left, the GM will have to come up with something else anyway.
Yeah. I know. What's the issue here? Like, you know, as long as it's believable.
Yeah.
As long as it's believable, and the players don't know what's the difference.
If the party goes right and they find something completely different to the nest of goblins, that is still not railroading because their choice did in fact matter. If the party goes right and the GM decides an earthquake strikes and blocks off their paths, forcing them to go left into the goblins, that's railroading. Simple example. In practice, it's more nuanced and unclear than that.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. It is very unclear. And again, I feel like one of the best ways that I've came about this is if something depends on a certain event that you need to roll for, and you do not get that roll, the players shouldn't have had to roll for that at all to begin with. I did this with so there's an adventure in the World War I game. It's a train hijacking, and I thought to myself, I wanted them to start off not on the train, but the train doesn't stop. How can I get them on the train? I'm not going to be able to get them on the train without having to roll. Mm-hmm. So I just, like, you know what? You guys just start at the end of the train. Just give them exposition. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah.
But I don't have any other way of making sure that they get on the train. Yeah. So we're just going to start it as if, no, you guys were able to do that. You ran up with your horses, you know, no issue.
Climb on while the moving train.
I know that's not a great way to do it.
But if it's efficient and it works for the game and it keeps the game running.
Yeah. I feel like I could have done it better, but I couldn't think of a good example. I mean, I think whenever the time comes, I will get a better example of how to do that. But for the meantime, sorry guys, my brain not big enough.
Shit road. Your character goes here, setting a premise for the game. The game will take place here, create a character with a reason to go here.
Again, I feel like, is this going to be like, just do a session 0, guys?
Yeah.
It can be really annoying sometimes when you come across that, where players make characters that just do not fit the game at all. Yeah. The ultimate example is, I'm going to play a pacifist. No, you're not. No, you're fucking not. Go make a new character. I don't care if you think it's going to be fucking interesting. Everyone else is here to kill goblins. Get fucking on with it, alright? You're out. Either make a new character or you're out, okay? You know, and sometimes you just have to make, like, you know, sometimes players just need to have a good reason to go places. And I think this is actually one of the things that fucked me up in one of my earlier games. So I was playing a paladin that actually... Well, no, I was playing a Hexbreed with a paladin in his ass. I don't know.
Let me rephrase that, actually.
Yeah, so it was possessed by a cursed object. I was playing the cursed object. The paladin had been locked away by the sodomy demon. I don't know. I think I've talked about this. It was essentially Skeletor, okay? I was playing Skeletor. Anyway, my character is eventually got exorcised, or exorcist, or... What's the right word? Exorcised? Is that what you call it?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Well, anyway, the evil demon got banished, and then we were still in the middle of the campaign, and my player had no reason to be there anymore.
So...
And I had no idea how else to go with him, bar to be absolutely depressed because he got molested and had been trapped in his own body for like 10,000 years or whatever, and I didn't know what to do.
Yeah.
I really had no idea, and... I was like, should I just make a new character then?
Yeah.
Because I didn't have there wasn't a good reason for him to continue on with that journey at all. And I kind of just felt like I'd gotten myself into a corner.
Yeah.
And it just didn't work.
Yeah.
And then there was a lot of other shit that just happened with that game, and then it just kind of just fell apart. Yeah. So it did, which was a bit of a shame. But it looks like we're starting up again in a similar vein. So yeah, I think that's where we're going to end it. What do you guys make of Lil Loden? Is it as bad as what people make it out to be?
I don't think it is. Well, once again, it all depends. Some of it can be really shit, and other ones you don't even know that you...
It should just not... But again, is that even Lil Loden? Does the word... This is one of the problems. It's kind of like, again, I feel like... This is why I don't really like the word cock, because I feel like cock... Whenever it first came out, is like the new swear word, and just got thrown about everywhere. Yeah. And I feel like I got the same thing with Red Pill, but Red Pill and Beast, it's actually turned around completely on me. Yeah, I actually say Beast and Red Pill too much, and originally I just started saying it to take the piss, and now it's kind of reworked my brain, and now I can't stop saying it. But again, is there a good argument to say maybe Lil Loden's in the same category as that, and maybe like there's a few other words like Matt Mercer effect and so on and so forth. Maybe it's not as bad as what people make it out to be. Maybe people are using the words when probably they shouldn't really. The words don't really apply very well, but because the use of the word is so liberally applied, it kind of distorts itself. It's kind of like calling someone a Nazi or a communist in this day and age.
Basically,
if
everybody's a Nazi, nobody is.
Pretty much, yeah. The word has lost any and all meaning. Honestly, I think I've probably met about 2 genuine Nazis, and 2 of them loved femboys. So I don't know how much.
What is it with them?
I don't know.
They love femboys?
Yeah, and then all the communists that I've met have never done an honest day's work in their lives. Oh, it's actually really funny if I be honest with you. It's like, oh my god, I don't know. But again, look, this video's not talking about that type of stuff, so let's not get off topic, and we're gonna wrap up here anyway. I don't see Lil Loden as that bad, but whenever I can think of Lil Loden, I think of it in a very different manner and light to what I think most people use it as. As long as you've got a competent DM, again, it's like anything. If you don't have a competent DM, you're probably not going to have a great game.
Yes.
Because, well, it depends on the players as well, but if your DM's absolutely fucking helpless and can't think of anything on the fly, they probably shouldn't be a DM.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think that's what scares a lot of people about being a DM. It's like, because I know people that have played for years, and they could I know fine, like, they would be just fine being a DM, they wouldn't have any issue. But for whatever reason, it's a psychological. It's like, oh man, I'm going to make a hack of this. I'm going to be shit. I can't do this, man. What? I'm sure you guys know people like that.
Yeah.
But look, let's end it there. Any and all thoughts? Steel Warder, we've got a couple copies. I don't know, we might still have copies by the time this video goes out.
Go on and check anyway.
Yeah,
but check out the website, the models, and let us know what you think down below. Like, what are your opinions on the subject? And hit subscribe and hit the notification bell so you get notified every time we post a video. And we'll see you in the next. Bye!